The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Oldham High School's basketball starts now.
Live tonight from Buckner on Glycod, a fantastic doubleheader to begin district play. Chris Labar along with former Colonels coach Gary Forrest. Another rendition, Gary, of South Oldham and OC.
Well, this is round one of three consecutive Friday night affairs between the Oldham schools, I guess, for county bragging rights.
You've been a part of this rivalry, Gary, from a multitude of places. What makes it so unique?
Well, you know, for a while we were the only game in town, and then South came online, and then 8 or 9 years later, North came online. And, you know, all three schools have shared the ups and downs, and all three schools have been successful by their rights.
South Oldham is 6-6, and in Oldham County, they're 6-5. I don't think anyone would have thought they'd have a better record at this point.
Well, if you look a little closer, one of the things that's happened in the last 2 years is their middle school programs, girls program, has gone undefeated for 2 straight years. So some of those kids are now moving into the high school level, and Coach Hook has been able to take advantage of those kids and having a few holdovers as well, and they kind of got them on the right side of where they want to be.
Game 2 is the boys' rendition of South and Oldham, and this South Oldham team, we'll talk about much more about that game in depth later, but they're very prolific amongst the top 5 three-point shooting teams in Kentucky.
Well, when you think three-point shooting teams and teams that shoot in general well, South Oldham has been that school. People know him for that, and Coach Simpson, that's the way he's always played. He's probably one of the guys that enhanced and grasped the idea of the three-pointer from its onset, and his kids sure play that way.
So many storylines tonight. We thank you so much for joining us on Glycod. We'll keep you company for about the next 3.5 or 4 hours. Up next, we'll chat with Coach Jim Hook of the Oldham County Colonel girls. He's in his second season. He'll join our Gary Forrest right after this timeout.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut. And the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service in Crestwood, making your life easier with quality products and quality service. Find out more at andersonsales.com.
With Coach Jim Hook from the Oldham County Girls Program. Coach, 5-5. Things are starting to pick itself up.
We're 6-5, so don't take that away from us. We picked up a win Tuesday in Henry County.
Okay, didn't get that one on the state stats yet.
It is. It's there.
Okay.
I promise.
Well, tell us, Coach, it's been a building process the last couple of years, and accordingly, it looks like things are moving forward.
Yeah, I think we're a lot further ahead than we were a year ago. We started with we're really, really young this year. That's not always a bad thing. I think we've got some really exciting pieces for people to come out and see and watch us build up. We're taking a middle school group and joining it with us, and they've never lost. They went like 54-0, and we've got a very good core in the high school. So I'm excited as these two teams have kind of blended into one team as our program's growing.
Well, you have a good nucleus of kids back, though. Batch, your leading scorer, Justin Jr., I believe.
Yeah.
And as a result, good things look to come. Coach, what are you going to have to do to be successful against this South Oldham bunch tonight?
Well, South's got three really impressive players. Bryn Brickey, she's a volume shooter. She's going to put up a lot tonight. She can score at all three levels. It really starts and ends with Madison Young. She's a D1 player for a reason. She's strong, just keeping her out of the paint, being dangerous there, and keeping Grace Turner from getting in and distributing the ball so well. So those are the three people we have to slow down. We have to take care of the basketball. I'm sure they're going to try to speed us up and make this a full court game, and we want this to be played probably in the 40s and 50s.
So that's the tempo you feel most comfortable with?
I wouldn't say we want it slow, but we want it managed. So we'll look to run it just in spurts.
Coach, anything in particular you're going to have to do to Young? Awfully good player.
I think we're going to throw a lot of things at Young. It's just about making sure she stays out of the paint and can't get in there and draw fouls and get attack us. She's just not. What's really dangerous about her is that she's great at taking a skip pass out of the air. So it's about shortening our passes. And on offense, it's about making sure she doesn't get on our hip and draw fouls and score 3 from 4 feet away.
Well, she's awfully good once she gets within the paint area.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard it from Coach Jim Hook, where tonight his Oldham County Lady Colonels play host to the South Oldham Dragons in 8th Region Lady Colonel action. This is Gary Forrest for Glycod.com.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
This broadcast is authorized by Oldham County High School with production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Blinds Direct, proud to support Glycod.com and area high school athletics, and they also are part of this Inside the Look series. Blinds Direct has provided great wallpaper, custom blinds, accessories, and more in Louisville for the past 30 years. If you'd like more information, visit blindsdirect.com. Gary, really enjoyed reading your analysis on this matchup. Let's talk about South Oldham and this returning player focus, maybe giving them the edge tonight.
Well, if you sit down and you look at all the things given, South has 4 kids with experience at the varsity level. Even though 2 of those are just sophomores, they played a lot, contributed last year as freshmen. And then you have the prolific player, probably one of the top 4 players in the 8th region, and Masson Young. So that gives them a head start. Oldham, they're doing it a little bit differently. You know, it's sort of a mass infusion, if you will, of talent from the middle school over the last couple years. And they've had success, and when you have success, it carries over. And I think, as Coach Hicks alluded to, we're starting to see the benefits of that.
Well, and despite the youth, Aubrey Batts, a junior, Haley Wood, a senior, they're still the Colonel's top 2 scorers.
They are, and it's good to have that because the young ones, they're going to follow the leaders. And the leaders in this case are Batts and Woods.
South Oldham is coached by first-year head coach Crystal Hatchett. She succeeds longtime Dragon coach Gene Heffington. She'll chat with our Gary Forrest. That conversation on the way back. You're watching the first of 2 tonight, South Oldham and Oldham County. Be right back after this.
Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
Definitely. That's competition. Check it. Ooh. Oh, no.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
GlyCod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/GlyCod.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy and Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from GlyCod.
This is Gary Forrest coming to you live from Oldham County High School, where tonight it's triple header night. And I'm sitting here talking to Coach Crystal Hatchett. Coach, we haven't had you on before, so first head coaching job, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm originally from the 5th region. I played college basketball at Western Kentucky. This is my 18th year of teaching and coaching, I think, and my 9th overall at South.
Okay, so now that we got all that stuff out of the way, so we're sitting around even. You've got a quality group with just enough, it appears, of experienced players to take your younger kids. It's got a great balance, and it looks like that's the way it's gone so far this year.
We really do. We still have a lot to learn. We still have a lot of growing to do, but my older kids have really stepped up and have started to bring the younger kids along. For a program, that's the most important thing, is the leadership within it from the player perspective. So we just look for every opportunity to grow, and then, try to keep one day at a time.
Well, everything seems to go around your three more experienced players, and everything kind of starts with Miss Young. So tell us a little bit about her.
Well, off the court, she's a great kid. On the court, she is a competitor. She is a loyal teammate, and she may not always get stats in every category, but she will have a hand or something that makes someone else get a stat, because she'll box out the toughest rebounder on the other team, or she will make the extra pass, or she'll take the shot she needs to take. And she is a great all-around player.
Well, she comes from a basketball family, and as you mentioned, she's a consummate player that makes those around her better. So, I've enjoyed watching her the last couple of years, and still got a couple more to go.
Fortunately, this is not the last year we get to watch her, and I think once she learns the game a little bit more and she figures out just how good of a player she is, it doesn't always just try to rely on her athleticism, because as we know, it's worked and it still works. But if she really figures that out and understands how great she could be, it could be scary for some people.
Real quick, Coach, things you have to do tonight to be successful against this Oldham bunch.
Well, we haven't played for 2 weeks, and so I think we have to be able to knock the rust off quick. I think we have to handle our emotions. Anytime we have rival games, anything can happen. I think that we have to play our game. We have to transition, we have to play defense, we have to rebound.
You heard it from Coach Crystal Hatchett, where tonight her Lady Dragons come down the road about 4 or 5 miles and play the host Oldham County Lady Colonels in 8th Region Glycod girls action.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer.
And we welcome you back. Tip-off, the first of two. It's South and Oldham from Buckner, and it will be Oldham County basketball off the turnover. Quick look at your starting lineups for Mortensen Family Dental. Bricky, Taylor, Stahl, Madej, and Young for South Oldham as the Colonels into front court. What do you look for here early, Gary?
Well, right now, both teams, just because it's the big rivalry, who really settles down first, gets their nerves under control, and you kind of go from there.
Nice entry pass. That's Haley Wood, and Wood up and in for the game's first basket. South Oldham will inbound underneath. Dragons group averaging 51 points per game, and a crafty inbound pass and bucket for Allie Stahl. That's Wood again, Gary. She's very aggressive here in the first phase of this game.
Yeah, you know, does a good job of putting her head down, going north-south to the basket. No hesitation whatsoever.
So Haley Wood to the foul line for a couple. There's a couple of seniors on this Oldham County team, but Haley Wood certainly the top scorer amongst the 12th graders, and the free throw rattles off. Take a look at your officials. Rick Pascatelli, Matt Blackaby, and Scott Kennedy. One more free throw looming, and the South Oldham possession out of bounds. So the Colonels pick up at half court. That's Aubrey Batts. And a nice overplay to dig that loose ball out of there. That's Lexi Polly, and the Colonels creating a couple of early turnovers. And out of bounds, it's going to be Oldham County ball.
Both teams look a little tight. It's to be expected in a game of this magnitude.
Inbound underneath as the Colonels weave it around. That's Lexi Polly. And a strong take off the mark from Haley Wood as the Colonels with a second opportunity. There's Polly, a deep one, and it's in for three. Polly only a 29% three-point shooter on the year, and the Colonels with a 5-2 lead and a held ball in the Euro. Going to stay South Oldham. Great crowd on hand as the Colonel faithful, Gary, been looking forward to this all week.
I think everybody kind of pencils these in, particularly the Fridays in January, countywide.
Exacerbated by the snow and the dormant activity for so long. That's off the mark from Madison Young and trickles out of bounds to Oldham. Take a look at their starters briefly. Batts, Kenzie Bedeck, J.C. Bryan, Haley Wood, and Lexi Polly. Good start for Oldham.
Very much so.
And Polly going to orchestrate the attack for the Colonels. Wood maintained her pivot foot, and the rebound, it's Lily Newcomb on the backside for Oldham, and going to be an early South Oldham foul. That's Wood, shot blocked by Madison Young. Batts pulling the trigger, and that's Newcomb going to work underneath. Lily Newcomb averages 6 rebounds a night. Great job on the glass there. That's a South 3, left long by Jade Madej. And Batts brings down the rebound. This Colonel team coming in. They've won 4 in a row, and they're off to a very hot start. And wow, another 3 for Polly. And South Oldham staring at some early adversity.
I thought might see a timeout here just where South might calm them down. But Coach Hatzel, I think, is elected to let them play through it. She's got some kids with experience.
Polly on the pull-up 3. As the Colonels taking advantage here in the early phases. A strong drive underneath, and Newcomb creating that ricochet out of bounds. It's going to stay South Oldham.
If you're Oldham, you want to keep Young out of the paint.
Oldham foul. Second foul. The Colonels this quarter, it's on Lily Newcomb. So 2 free throws for Madison Young. And I know, Gary, we've talked so much and how fond you are of her game, her development throughout her career.
Yeah, she's just the consummate gym rat. She's always there. Her brother was the same way when he played for South's boys team. And, you enjoy watching kids who work to get better.
One more free throw looming. And Lily Newcomb has been a force in this game as she lassoed that loose ball. There's Haley Wood weaving her way in. And the Dragons off the baseline, lost last by Bryn Brickey. And possession underneath. We have a South Oldham 30-second timeout. A touchdown lead for the Colonels. Great start for OC. Back in 30 seconds, you're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Welcome back to Buckner. Patriotic theme in the Colonels, Gary. A very impressive beginning.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people expected the Colonels to come out of the gates as hot as they have been. Knock down a couple of threes, and right now they're the ones rolling things.
Wish our camera guy would turn to the action down there. That's off the mark.
Well, he's getting a student body block, it looks like.
There's Madison Young for South. Corner three off from McKenna Buckman that just checked in, 5'4" freshman. And Oldham County +7. Trying to extend the early lead.
South backed into that 2-3. Started out man, now a little look at the 2-3 zone. And Oldham banks one in.
Kelsey Bedeck with a basket, 12-3. Allie Stahl inside the lane. That's going to be well long, and the rebound gathered underneath by a quartet of players. Possession arrow, and it will belong to Oldham as they try to extend this to a double-figure lead.
Right now, Chris, Oldham really ruling the boards. One shot and out for South. South Oldham 1-2-1-1. So they're going to pressure the first pass and try to trap it and speed the game up.
Is that what they need to do?
I think she's just looking to change the pace.
There's Madison Young as the Colonels give it away as Young all the way to the basket for two.
Well, that's what Young likes to do, put it on the floor.
Madison Young's first field goal, 3 points for the night, and Oldham County coach Jim Hook wasting no time. He'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back in just a moment.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
To both teams with an early timeout as the Colonels inbound, and there's South Oldham's third team foul. This is the Dragons team, at least on Glycod earlier. They played a couple of quality foes, lost to Anderson County, a very solid team in the 8th region. So although they have 6 losses, they played a very difficult slate.
Well, another forced turnover by the press by the Lady Dragons.
There's Madison Young, arcs it to Allie Stahl. Now Grace Turner veering left, and Turner in off the window. Grace Turner, 5'5" sophomore, her first basket. And South Oldham with another turnover and a live ball turnover and a 6-0 Dragons spurt.
Well, I think the pressure they've gone to has shown results already. 3 straight turnovers by the Lady Colonels.
There's Lexi Polly.
Make that 4.
Swarmed in backcourt. And South Oldham off the heel. Young follows and tapped out off of a closing Grace Turner. It will belong to Oldham.
Well, to answer to your question, Chris, 4 straight turnovers since South has gone to the diamond press. It's sped up the pace for OC.
Colonel's trying to veer it to forecourt and thrown away. There's Bedeck that threw that ball away, and back for the rebounds, Haley Wood. And touched last by South Oldham's Allie Stahl. Oldham County will enter 5'7" freshman Jossie Rosario. Several young players on this Colonel's team, freshmen, 8th graders, but a very solid youthful foundation. And a turnover again.
Boy, the Colonels' turnovers flourish. That's 6 straight turnovers in 6 straight possessions. You know, got them shook a little bit.
There's Turner around the clock to Madison Young. Young arcs it up and touched last by South Oldham. So possession to the Dragons, as it was actually deflected last by OC. I beg your pardon. So South will inbound. There's Young, double teamed in the corner. That's a great overplay and deflection by Aubrey Batts. And just like that, thefted by Grace Turner. And Turner down the hill and could not creep home. And there's Newcomb ripping away the rebound. And a foul on South Oldham's Bryn Brickey. Dragons did everything right but make the layup, Gary.
Yep. Those are the ones you get points for. But right now, the pressure has really loosened things up. And, you know, Oldham needs to just take a breath, settle down. Another pass deflected.
Touch last. I believe that was Allie Stahl.
You know, Oldham right now having a hard time getting the ball across half court.
This will be Rosario as she'll take it across the timeline. Newcomb with a grab. Shot partially blocked as Madison Young head up into front court, lofts it up and in. 12-11.
Well, just like that, we got ourselves a ball game. Oldham too much dribbling against the press.
Dragons with 8 in a row. Newcomb into front court.
Boy, that was about a 9-second count.
And that ball is going to be deflected out of bounds in the short corner. It's touched last by South Oldham. Got 2 Colonels coming in. Haley Wood, Lexi Polly, 2 original starters will re-enter. .42 seconds in this opening quarter. Oldham once led 12-3, and South, as you see, has run off 8 in succession. There's Wood, trap baseline. An open 3, well done! Lexi Polly, her second 3. Check that, her 3rd triple. Grace Turner has that swirl out. And possession back to Oldham. Wood, nice grab in the corner. That's Kayla De Silva, who just entered, an 8th grader. And that one bounces home by Rosario. Four 3-point field goals in this quarter for Oldham. and an 18-11 lead for the Colonels. Back in 60 seconds, this is Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Chris LeBar, former Oldham County boys basketball coach Gary Forrest. A pleasure to welcome you back. Tonight's game presented by Waste Wizard, title sponsor of high school athletics on Glycod here in Oldham County. Both teams with responses in the first quarter.
Had two different runs. Both teams did them in different ways, whereas Oldham really hot. 7 out of 11 from the floor. What offset it, though, is when South went to the zone press, they made 6 straight turnovers. So it's back and forth, 18-11, Oldham favor.
Colonels makers of 4 3-point field goals. Lexi Powley with 3 and Jossie Rosario with 1. And South Oldham will begin this quarter with a ball. Little nice pull-up baseline. It's Grace Turner. Second field goal for Grace as number 14 Haley Wood traverses near sideline, and she'll be bumped in a South Oldham foul. There's Batts angling, little floater off the window. It's going to trickle out, and loose ball gathered by both teams. Possession arrow, Oldham. There's Batts, corner 3, nope. And there's Young, backside gather for South, and running the length of the floor is Bryn Bricky for the bucket.
Nice job getting the ball out.
Bricky, 26 points in their loss at Central Lahardin last week.
Too much dribbling. Oldham gets themselves in trouble when they turn their back.
Here's Madison Young. That stays in.
Another turnover.
Young now with 7 leads. South Oldham is there within a point. And another near turnover. It's ricocheted out off of a closing Grace Turner. What's made this defense so effective?
Well, Oldham has probably hurt itself more when their initial receiver gets the ball. They turn their back on the floor and they're doubled. Pass and cut. You don't necessarily have to dribble.
There's a wide open 3. Well done, Aubrey Batts. Spacing was very solid on that half-court sequence. South Oldham tries to respond, and Bricky reins it in.
That's a see your 3 and raise you a 3.
Bryn Bricky with 5 and a 21-20 Oldham lead. There's Batts up and off. Batts got her own, and it's out of bounds, South Oldham.
I think Batts might have been expecting contact as they had beaten the press and had a 2-on-1, and looked like she tightened up a little bit. Now Oldham changing defenses. They've gone to 1-3-1 now, so giving them lots of different looks.
Veering in, losing the handle. That was Allie Stahl. Now Madison Young back over to Stahl. South Oldham inside the teeth of that zone. Left-hand shovel shot short by Turner. Rebound Young. And an Oldham County foul. Coming up at half, Gary will chat with South Oldham boys head coach Steve Simpson. As Coach Dean of 8th Region coaches, always a pleasure to coach with Steve. And we'll also connect with Chris Renner as well before Game 2. 2023 KHSAA Hall of Famer. Wonderful coaching matchup in Game 2, Gary.
Very much so. You know, we've got deans from both different regions, and now Coach Renner joining us over here in the 8th.
We got a dean here at the scores table as well. As the ball's deflected out, it's going to belong to South Oldham. 5:34. Despite the score, you feel like South's in pretty good shape as the pace is quickened.
Well, the scary thing is they've got to cut their turnovers down. You know, what that's done, it's covered up the fact that they've shot the ball extraordinarily well, but it's moot if you turn it over.
Young comes to a jump stop, banks it in, and South with their first lead.
Well, there's Young once again. You cannot let her in the paint.
Young now with 9. And Newcomb angling to Haley Wood as Wood back out Newcomb. Wood uncorks a long three, may have been blocked on the closeout by Young. And here comes South Oldham. Young pulls the trigger. And the rebound gathered on the backside by the Dragons, and another held ball. Possession, South Oldham. Rosario back in for Oldham. Under the 5-minute mark, first half. Inbound, shovel shot short, Bricky. And Newcomb's got to have a half dozen rebounds already for Oldham. Rosario dips it down, little baseline, floater is in. That's Haley Wood. 23-22 Oldham, well long with the left, a missile off the backboard by Turner, and it's out of bounds, South Oldham. The Dragons inbound underneath. The ball on a string for Young, and Haley Wood called for the foul. The 2 free throws looming for Madison Young. 63% free throw shooter on the year. And we're tied again. 31 points at Ballard this season, her high in midst of her junior year, already surpassing 1,400 career points as the Dragons back up by 1. Polly
got away with a double dribble.
Polly into front court, and wow, going to be a foul on South. It's Allie Stahl. That's the second time the Colonels have just barely broken across the half-court line.
Well, you know, one of the things we talked about earlier, they're trying to beat everything on the dribble, and reverse dribbles is exactly what your opponent wants you to do against this pressure, where they can knock the ball away, and South's had success doing that.
Wide open, Batts, 3 is perfect. Aubrey Batts has made 2 threes, and the Colonels have drained 6 of them. Well done, Grace Turner, pulled up from about 10. We're tied again. It's Turner collecting points 5 and 6. Rosario up, and it just does dance out of there, and Young gathers the rebound. Madison Young up, and rebound right to McKenna Buckman. And touch last by Aubrey Batts. It's going to stay South Oldham. Got a South Oldham 60-second timeout. A great ball game. 3:24 first half. Back to Buckner in just a moment.
Supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Tied at 26, 3:24 in the first half. Both teams have done some very solid things in this first half. As the Colonels, there you see Coach Hook. And just a wonderful crowd tonight. So glad you joined us on Glycod. The first of two, of course, with the boys tipping off 7:45 or so. And possession underneath to Oldham. And Young, so clever defensively, and there's a quick basket. And another turnover. Young, great feed. And Bryn Brickey gathered herself after picking up an Oldham County foul.
Well, right now, Chris, that's 11 turnovers for Oldham, and a majority of those have come when South switched over to the diamond press. And Oldham's not getting the ball across half court, and as a result, when they turn it over, it gives South the opportunity to have numbers on the offensive end, and that's how they've got themselves back in the ballgame.
Be South ball underneath. Well long from Bryn Brickey as the Colonels vacuum in the rebound. Lexi Polly, number 22. She's been a factor with 9 early points. Bats, a deep one. Oh my, nearly glanced in off the glass, but she'll collect the rebound.
Well, you usually don't bank them in from the dead corner, so Oldham was fortunate to get the rebound that came off.
Rosario tried to feed the post, touched last by her companion on Oldham, so South ball. 2:38 in this very interesting and well-played first half.
Oldham back to a 2-3 now. But you got to keep an eye wherever Young is.
Jade Madej tried the high-low action and right through the midst of Bryn Brickey and Oldham with a turnover. Bats runs the floor, and it's blocked out of there by Madison Young. South with a pull-up. Bullseye from Grace Turner. Turner with 4 field goals. She has 8 points. And South by 4, their longest lead, and that ball is off by Wood, not once but twice. There's a deep 3, Rosario, no. And Young with a South rebound as the pace quickens under 2 minutes.
Well, this is the pace that Oldham is really looking to slow down a little bit, and I think South has benefited from it.
That's a great block by Kayla De Silva. And possession, Oldham County, after South Oldham commits their foul. It's on Madison Young. Length of the floor here. Colonels inbounding. South Oldham going to bring on for the first time 5'6" junior Anaya Pratt. She'll wear number 21. And spinning out's Haley Wood is Wood. Great pass to lead the break. And that's going to bank in for Peyton Lewis. Lewis, a 5'5" 8th grader, just into the game, makes the layup. And it should be South Oldham's ball, and it will be. It's touched last by Oldham. That occurring right beneath us here on the far left baseline. Got it down too deep, Gary.
Yep.
It's Bryn Brickey for 2 more.
It's too easy.
Brickey with 7. Points well distributed tonight for South Oldham. There's a 3 in the corner. Another one goes down by Lewis. The 8th graders' instant offense. And a foul up top by Oldham. So Peyton Lewis just into the game and 5 quick points. Dragons inbound. And going to be touched last by South Oldham, and Oldham with a chance to take the lead. And another turnover. And back at you. And it's back to Oldham County where we initially started. Under a minute now in this well-played first half. That one is well short on the errant 3. It was Polly that was short on that. South Oldham has it. Bryn Bricky. See what the Dragons do. No, they're going to pull up from 17, and it's in again for Bricky. Thought they might hold it for 1. Bricky with points 8-9. South by 3. And the Dragons pick up their 4th foul. Non-shooting foul. As Jossie Rosario is fouled. Just over 5 seconds in the half. Inbound Polly for the tie. How about that? Polly, her 4th 3, and we're going to go to the locker room in a draw. Gary, this has been a very well-played first half.
Well, Oldham has made a lot of turnovers, but they countered the turnovers by making 8 3-pointers in this. So I guess that's a good thing to nullify things.
34-34 at the half. Be right back after this. Coach Steve Simpson of South Oldham is heading our way. We'll connect with the Dragons coach right after this. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Find out how to recycle or dispose of any item with Waste Wizard at oldhamcountyky.gov under Solid Waste Management.
In the first of two, a draw, 34-34 South Oldham and Oldham girls. Now let's check in with Gary Forrest. He's with South Oldham boys coach Steve Simpson.
Well, Coach Simpson, 34-34. You know, a lot of things going on in this girls' game, but at halftime it's a draw. So big act for you guys to follow up in this next game.
Yeah, you know, it's these rivalry games, you never know what's going to happen. And the first half of this game has played out that way. So I'm sure in the second half things will settle down and things will kind of get to normal.
You know, Steve, if it's January in Oldham County, that means it's the annual Friday night games with all three of the Oldham schools, and this is round one, Oldham versus South. And, you know, I think people tend to forget what high school basketball used to be like, and if you haven't been out, particularly to some of the Oldham games, you can bet you'll have a full house when we have these games.
Yeah, growing up in Grant County, there wasn't a lot to do. So at the basketball games, it would be maybe not this packed, but, you know, a lot bigger crowds back at that time, and people didn't have, you know, iPads and all the stuff that they have now. So I always look forward to these games because of just the atmosphere. The students are really into it, and the band, the Oldham County band's fired up, and so it's just a really good environment. And the first time in the history of the series, we played that JV game at 5 o'clock, and man, that was a really good environment for those kids. I've been trying to get that done for a couple of years. Apologize to you guys for not letting you know there was a 5 o'clock game. I never even thought of that, but we're doing the same thing at South when we play North there.
Well, you know, the great thing about it is all three of these schools are competitive, but when you throw out the records when they play each other, I mean, you guys are having a great year. You know, you're one of the top-ranked teams in the region. Oldham, they're sort of retooling. They've got a youth movement taking place and stuff, but as we all know, you can never count one team out.
Well, I think they're playing so much better. Watched a lot of film. You know, to get on the bus at 5 o'clock, drive 2 hours to Berea, and beat a good Madison Southern team says a lot. So Brian has 28 in that game. So I've been telling everybody, listen, Oldham's getting better and better, and I've told our guys, hey, you better be ready, because if you just look at the record, you're going to go over and play like you did at Collins, and we can't play that way tonight and win this game.
Well, Steve, you start your 25th year here in Oldham, and, you know, you were there when we started with the Oldham games. You've been all the way through them. You've gone through a lot of coaches at the other schools and such. But one thing we can always say, the games, throw out the records, they're going to be competitive.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like, you know, I've switched over the years, but, you know, just playing one time during the regular season, I know when I first came, you wanted one game. I thought at the time 2'd be best, but this atmosphere, twice a year is it's unique, I think, now in the state of Kentucky. And like I said, I look forward to it.
Well, there's always that possibility that you can end up playing each other 3 times if you get to the regional finals. Yep. And, people tend to forget those things, and the familiarity sometimes is maybe not given enough credit as it should be. It's tough to beat a team one time. Sometimes 2 and 3 makes it even harder.
Yeah, and if you do beat them once, now I'm thinking, hey, if I can beat them once, I don't want to have to try to do it again the next month. So, like I said, I read a lot on Bluegrass Preps. A lot of people talk about the environment here in North and South, and right now I do think we really have a unique experience going on.
Coach, about this game tonight, things that you guys will have to do to be successful against OC.
Well, the first thing I told our guys is don't look at the record. Come in here ready to play. Let's prepare like we always prepare against Oldham. I think they are very good in the passing lanes. I think we have to do a really good job passing the basketball. Rebounding is always a key with us, especially when they are bigger than us at a couple of positions. And then we just have to handle this environment. I do think our kids have been in this a time or two now. So I think in that regards, I feel pretty comfortable. And then, with us, it's are we making shots or not? And so I guess we'll find that out here in about 45 minutes.
Well, this is from a coach whose team is always in the state's top percentage of shooting, free throws, three-pointers. Of course, you would have to talk about if I don't shoot well.
Right, yeah, well, the nights, if we get all 5 guys shooting bad, like in Collins, we're in trouble. So hopefully we can have a couple guys making shots.
Leave it to a coach to always find something that he's working on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. We thank Coach Steve Simpson for joining us as we are set for live action here in the second half. And the South Oldham and Oldham County get tied at 34 as we get set for quarter 3 and 4. And the Colonels on the inbounds as they'll have it in the corner. That's Aubrey Batts threading the needle underneath to Badek. And held ball, arrow back to South Oldham. There's the Colonels having that ball trickle out of bounds, and it's going to be back to South Oldham.
Let's see if we see any changes defensively as we start this second half. Both teams, the first half, you kind of call it a wash.
Rebound on the backside gathered by Allie Stahl. As the Dragons looking for the lead. Madison Young off the mark. And there's Aubrey Batts with a rebound. Again, the Colonels 8 made threes in the first half. Batts a pull-up 3.
Yeah, 8 for 7.
And out of bounds, it's going to be back to South Oldham.
8 out of 12. They'll take that, but I'm not so sure you can look forward to that all the way. Colonels constantly changing defenses right now. I'm not so sure if they're trying to keep South off balance or just to confuse them.
Dragons now lead 37-34. Well orchestrated play underneath from Lexi Polly underneath to Badek. And the rebound vacuumed in by Madison Young of South Oldham. Young off the window. That won't go. And Oldham County brings it down. That's Haley Wood. There's Wood. Call for the travel.
Well, Wood really likes to put the ball on the floor, and sometimes there's no place to go, and she would be better off giving it up and then getting the ball back.
Left-hand floater inside the lane. It's Grace Turner. There's Bryn Brickey. Left-hand layup in transition, and South Oldham with 2 more.
Well, once again, points off of turnovers. That's what's kept South Oldham in the game.
Brickey with 5. Rather with 9 is the lead back at 5 for South. And we're going to have an Oldham timeout. A full 60-second Oldham County timeout. We'll step aside South Oldham by 5. You're watching GlyCod.com.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Dragons with 5 straight to start this second half as they now enjoy their longest lead at 5 points. What's been the difference in their resurgence?
Chris, I think more than anything, since we've started this second half, it's been the pace of the game. Whereas Oldham, the pace has become sort of frenetic. They're in a hurry, and it's got them in trouble. And those same threes that they were chucking up the first half and making them, they're not making them here this second half. You know, they've not handled the pressure very well once again. You know, they need to get their heads up and pass the ball forward. Dribbling is what the defense wants you to do.
Colonel's trying to attack, and a 2-possession deficit. Looking for their first points. The second half, a little floater runner. That's going to be long from Rosario. And the South Oldham ball.
Hardest shot in basketball, Chris, is shooting the layup without using the glass. And there was a case right there. You know, the glass gives you room for error.
Dragons 6-6 coming in.
Man, that one's deep.
It sure was. A long 3 off the mark. And possession back to Oldham. Get a sense this is a pretty important stretch for them. As Polly going to shuffle it around, and South Oldham in that zone again.
South sticking with the 2-3 and widening out their corners because they gave up those corner threes early.
There's Bedeck shot long, and she's going to compound the air with a foul. Oldham's second in this quarter.
As we see so many times, a player will shoot the ball, miss it, and in their efforts to what they think is to undo a wrong when they miss a shot, they make a foul using too much energy.
Dragons, only 4 players have scored in this game, but thus far it's been enough as they lead by 5. A long 3, swish! Allie Stahl.
Well, Stahl, quiet the first half, comes out and knocks down a long 3 here in the third quarter.
Stahl now with 5. It's an 8-point South Oldham lead. Colonel staring at their largest deficit. Weaving around is Rosario. There's a wide open corner 3 and a response by J.C. Bryant.
Well, it would take a coach's daughter, and her dad and her mother were both very good players, so got a beautiful looking stroke, as does her brother who plays on the varsity.
Yeah, Ty Bryant, we'll see him in the next one. That's a great 3 and a much needed shot for Oldham, their first basket of the second half.
Well, you know, the 3 has been Oldham's secret weapon this game, and it's rescued them a lot, but you can't always rely on it.
Brickey now with an even dozen. Again, 26 in their loss at Central Hardin last Saturday. The Bruins in that game made 10 threes. And steady as they go tonight for Brickey. The lead back to 7 for South Oldham. And a turnover, stepping in the passing lane. That was Bricky. And out of bounds to Oldham. This Dragons sophomore class is very strong. Bricky, Turner, and then Allie Stahl, 3 starters as 10th graders.
Well, they've had them staggered. They haven't had what you would quote as one class that was loaded up. And, that helps the continuity of a program because you've always got kids with experience waiting in the wings.
We'll keep it here as Oldham calls a 30-second timeout. Again, coming up in game 2, it'll be South boys and Oldham boys. Colonels 4-10, but they've won 2 in a row. And South Oldham, boy, they're red hot. They're 13-3, winners of 8 consecutive. So that'll be the nightcap. But first, another 12 minutes of action here. This game was tied at the half at 34. Or excuse me, at 34.
It looks like they keep filing in, Chris.
Yeah, it's a standing room only crowd. There are a few empty seats up top. That's actually where the band is now. See a lot of instruments up there. They'll be back.
Once again, another turnover against the pressure.
Madison Young creating havoc there and then thrown away in response by Bricky. As Oldham County has it, that's number 14, Haley Wood. And Wood arcing it right in the middle of the Colonel bench as Aubrey Batts was the intended target. 3:37 in this third quarter. There's Grace Turner. Good ball pressure by Peyton Lewis. Lewis, again, the 8th grader, 5 points in limited time. Step in the passing lane, that's Aubrey Batts, and Batts up and in. Batts with 8. And the lead back to 5 for South Oldham. That's going to swish around the horn and go down. It's Jade Madej. Little tidy bowl action as it's swished around there, and it's an 8-point lead.
It got all the rim. Another turnover.
2 more for South. Their biggest lead, Madison Young, tacks another layup on.
That's turnover number 15 for the Lady Colonels. And
the rip-away foul on Allie Stahl.
We talked about halftime, that sometimes turnovers can be glossed over a little bit when you do something else well. And the Lady Colonels made 3s. They've not shot them as well this half, but they've continued to make the turnovers, and the margin has started to build for the Lady Dragons.
Again, Oldham led by 7 after 1. And despite Oldham County connecting on, 9 threes. It's a 10-point deficit, rather 8 threes. 10-point deficit. There's an entry to Newcomb. Paxton Lewis off. And South Oldham collecting the rebound. As Madej comes up the floor, and it's going to belong to the Dragons. Young inside the lane, lofts it from 8. Pinballed around a little bit, and Oldham County able to bring down the rebound. It's Haley Wood. And she'll throw that ball away.
And another turnover, number 16.
Coming up at the conclusion of this game, Gary and I will have the State Farm Insurance agent Leslie Gilly, most outstanding player. One student athlete from each team will be recognized for their on-court achievements this evening as Young got another to go.
Well, once again, you have to keep Young out of the paint area. Not a great outside shooter, but when she gets in the paint, she's very successful.
Lexi Polly, that shot is off the mark. Corner 3 for South. And the Dragons run down the loose ball. It's McKenna Buckman, the freshman. And now Madej circling, following in again for Bryn Brickey.
Well, you know, they're really doubling up the boards on OC right now.
And a turnover again. It's out of bounds to the Dragons.
It's turnover number 17 here, almost through the end of the third quarter, and you can't make those. You know, you're giving the ball away.
Again, Oldham got out to such a hot lead. I believe it was a 9-point lead. And South Oldham went to an immediate press, and they have not backed off since. And South Oldham for two more. Pouring it on are the Dragons. Madison Young able to get her shot so easily, and Young able to deflect it out of bounds. .58 in this third. Jesse Rosario back in. And deflected out. Everything has been made difficult with Oldham trying to bring it up the floor.
You know, Chris, I can't remember a pass in this third quarter that South hasn't gotten a piece of. You know, there have been deflections, and obviously deflections lead to turnovers.
As the Colonels try to bring it across, there's Aubrey Batts, and here she comes as Batts. Nice pass in transition, and Haley Wood knocks it in. Well orchestrated by Batts. There's South Oldham for a three. Jade Madej rains it down. That's Jade's second three, and another turnover off that press. The Colonel's able to get it back, and it's going to be now Oldham County ball. Just over 8 seconds, rather 28 seconds remaining in this third quarter. South by 17, and this game was tied at half. Newcomb to Wood, and Wood drives in and will draw a South Oldham foul. A lot to cheer about for the Dragons tonight, at least in this third quarter. And Haley Wood for two. Gary, we've seen the Colonels the last few years, the girls team. This year's group is clearly better than they've been the last few years.
They are, and, you know, youth has a lot to do with it. They've come in and such. Part of the problem has been, I think, in the past, there's been a turnover of coaches at the girls level every year or two, and there's no continuity. You know, with Coach Hooks, I think this starts his third year, and so, you know, he's been a girls coach here at Oldham longer than anybody has been for a while, and maybe that's an answer. You know, have some continuity where your kids are hearing the same thing.
60-42 South Oldham after three. We'll step aside, be right back after this. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Back live in Buckner, South Oldham on top of Oldham County in the girls' game, 60-42. I'm Chris LeBar, along with former Colonels boys basketball coach Gary Forrest. So glad to have you with us this evening. The boys' encounter will tip perhaps around 8 o'clock. And that should be a very interesting matchup. Despite, Gary, you think that Oldham County may be a little bit outmatched tonight, you would expect them to bring it.
Well, when you look at the game on paper, you probably think, well, South, a lot of kids coming back from the team who went to the regional last year, and Oldham lost some kids from last year. But when you play a county-wide game, you throw out those things on paper. You just never know.
As the Colonels will inbound. Lexi Polly, she's played very well tonight, has 9 points on 3 made threes. As Rosario around the clock. And Haley Wood, a strong drive, and she'll draw South Oldham foul. And Bats will be called for the travel.
Well, that's turnover number 20 for the Lady Colonels, and you just can't give it away that much.
And Brookie being badgered in backcourt as the Colonels pick up full court press. South Oldham going to call timeout. We'll take a pause as well. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball. South Oldham in command tonight on Glycod.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Welcome back to Buckner. South Oldham on top of Oldham County 60-42, the 7:27 mark in this fourth quarter. Both teams doing some very positive things tonight, but certainly in the second half it's been all South Oldham. Their comeback, their resurgence has been fueled on live ball turnovers. And what's the formula here, Gary, for both teams here in the balance of this game?
Well, you know, if you're Oldham, you want to find things to end this thing on a positive note. They've gone to a zone. They've had some success. And we got a call, one of those mystery calls from half court. So Oldham will defend once again. South takes it out. And if you're South, you don't want to get sloppy. Yes, you've built a lead, but you want to continue to make good things happen.
There's a corner three in transition for South, well long from McKenna Buckman. As Oldham County with a rare run out and an opportunity for Aubrey Bats to score two more.
It's only Oldham's third basket of the second half.
Deflected away, and Oldham County back-to-back thefts.
Well, you mentioned a minute ago things to do. You know, what we're seeing is Oldham hasn't quit. You know, they're defending. They're making North turn the ball over. They're hustling down the floor. So as a coach, you know, things haven't always gone right for you, but your kids are still playing hard.
Madej, maybe a toe on that line on that long jumper. Followed, try to clean up. That was Anaya Pratt. But the basket goes for Madison Young. Young, well in excess of 20 points.
Yes, and once again, Young, she kind of controls everything that goes in that paint, whether it's her or it's her getting an offensive rebound and putting it back in.
Just seems to have a knack for the ball.
That's probably a pretty good analogy right there. Her brother was the same way when he played. You know, that's just a gift.
That's Devin Young, of course, you're referencing. 18-point South Oldham lead with 6:11 in this fourth quarter. Dragons trying to improve to 7-6. Oldham would fall to 6-6. And a turnover. Grace Turner got a hand on that. Running out is Bricky, and Bryn Bricky could not connect. And we're going to have a foul in pursuit of that loose ball. The 2 free throws for Madison Young.
You know, Chris, one of the things that South has to be proud of is the fact that they've scored a lot of points, but it's not been their offense that generate. It's offense generated by the defense. You know, that's the hardest thing to guard. When you're on the half court, everybody knows who's everyone's got. But if it's 2-on-3, 3-on-2, you have to communicate, you have to talk, you have to do all those things. And that's where South has gotten themselves in the game. And it started with their pressure from full court in the first half.
One more for Young. High watermark lead right now for South, up to 20. Once trailed by 9 in the first quarter. And another turnover, and Oldham County starting to pile up the miscues. That's Lily Newcomb that's called for the foul. Third foul on Lily, third foul this quarter on OC. So the Dragons outscore the Colonels 26-8 in the third quarter, and Madison Young a huge reason why. And back to the foul line she goes.
Once again, Chris, Colonels only made 3 buckets here as we are starting the fourth quarter, and they're not going to the free throw line. They're relying on the outside shots, and we talked about this the first half. As well as they shot their threes, easy come, sometimes easy go, and they've not been fortunate for the threes this half.
Young's free throw off the mark. We've talked overwhelmingly positive about her. From a coaching standpoint, what would it be like to coach her and just the knack and nose she has for the ball?
Well, she can improve her shot, as every player can. I think there's still some suspect about the range that she has, but you can never fault her for the effort that she gives, and that's what makes her such a good player.
Over 1,400 career points in the middle of her junior season. And foul on South Oldham. Aubrey Batts knocked down. She'll be aided by a couple of student athletes coming up in between games. We hope to catch up with South Oldham girls head coach Crystal Hatchett. We'll also connect with tonight's title sponsor, Rebecca Zockline of Oldham County Solid Waste. She'll talk about this great new feature product called the Waste Wizard. And then we'll connect with Oldham boys coach Chris Renner as well in between games, as the boys South and OC should tip around 8, perhaps a tad after. And deflected out, back it goes to Oldham. Gary, what's going on in both locker rooms right now as these teams are getting set for the nightcap?
Well, as a coach, the work has been done. Right now, it's just the mental, getting the kids ready, not too high, not too low.
That's off from Batts. As South, a well-executed transition break. 2 more for Grace Turner. She's got 10 unofficially. This 3-headed monster of Young, Brickey, and Turner, very prolific for South Oldham.
Chris, we were talking the other day, a group of former ex-coaches, who haven't lost a game in years. And, one of the things we talked about is the fact that, players today are different. You have to handle them differently, and the things they see on TV, you have to take the good with the bad and explain to them, how sometimes it's fool's gold. And that's, in today's world, I think that's sometimes a hard message to get across to kids.
3 off the mark that time for Oldham. This fourth quarter is dragged on a tad. It's 4:33 now with South by 23. Again, tied at halftime. And the Dragons cannot connect on that 3. That was Allie Stahl that came up empty.
And, that's Stahl's spot.
That's going to be just a little short from Lexi Polly. Is that a Euro step by Bryn Brickey?
Well, it kind of looked like a walk, but I sometimes wonder if officials know what a Euro step is. If it looks like it's a Euro step, sometimes they say it is.
Bryn Brickey will steer that one in.
Another turnover under the basket. Never good.
25-point lead for South Oldham. Take a look at the Dragons' upcoming schedule. Gary will see them Friday versus North. Boy, they got a busy week. That'll be actually the 31st against North Oldham and South Oldham. And a tough game coming up Monday on the road at Spencer County. So 1 of 2 for South from the foul line.
Another turnover. And another bucket for South, and another turnover.
And a foul by Kayla De Silva.
Now this is where you have to be careful. You know, even if you're on the winning side, you know, when you look up at the scoreboard and some people are saying, well, why are you still pressuring when you have a big lead? But remember, some of the kids that are in the game now for, let's say, a North, they weren't in the game when the lead was built. So you don't bring kids in and tell them not to score, so you have to find ways around that.
2 more South Oldham free throws. 30-point lead, and that's an Oldham bucket. Lexi Polly for the field goal, and boy, South gets the ball down so quickly. Bryn Brickey, she's having a fantastic week.
Yeah, really good week. Good second half.
They got 26 last week in their last game. And Madison Young holds that loose ball away. And Young again with an and one plus a foul. That might be the play of the night for South Oldham's Madison Young.
Well, they've hit this little run here in the fourth quarter where Oldham hasn't crossed half court but twice in this fourth quarter. That just shows how quick it can leave you. And not only that, when you turn it over in your opponent's front court, it's quicker for them to score.
Well, and another turnover.
Yep.
And we're on the verge of a running clock. And who would have thought that with Oldham leading 18-11?
Oh, well, who would have thought it when it was tied at halftime?
Yeah, well said. The Colonels led by 7 after 1 and got an official stop. So Oldham going to traverse for 2 free throws. Both teams now with 5 team fouls. It'll be 5'7" freshman Jossie Rosario. 8-point per game score. So many solid young players on this Oldham girls roster. And it has to be encouraging for Colonel fans to see the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will.
Well, I think so. You know, the whole key is to keep a positive attitude, keep going forward. You know, in basketball, I don't care how good you are. Every once in a while, good teams have those nights.
Young just rifles it right through the defense, and Anaya Pratt puts it in. Pratt, a 5'6" junior. And out of bounds, it's going to stay Oldham. Or will it? Nope, going to be Colonel ball, yep. Still got the South regulars out there with...
Well, I just noticed there's 5 getting ready to check in.
Aubrey Batts, high arcing 3, would not go down. And South Oldham there's a great piece of sportsmanship by head coach Crystal Hatchett. She'll call timeout to get the 5 subs in. And a round of applause as South Oldham, 81-46. Let's see if we can identify some of the student athletes that are on the floor for South Oldham. That's Kaylee Harding, 5'6" junior. She's out there. The shot short from McKenna Turo. And here's 5'5" 8th grader Paxton Lewis. She had 5 quick points in the first half. It's Aubrey Harding, 5'4" freshman that's out there, and somebody's going to the foul line. Might be Harding. Let's take a look at Oldham's upcoming schedule. Tuesday at Trimble, and then actually, Gary, we'll see them versus North next Friday. How would you handicap that game?
Well, boys-wise, I've seen them both. I have not seen North's girls. So, the boys-wise, probably North is a favorite. They're playing at home. Even though they've got some young kids, they've got some kids who are maybe a little further along. But not having seen North, it'd be hard to speculate.
It's going to be off the mark with just over a minute left and a 35-point South Oldham lead. That's going to be well long up and off from Olivia Kane. Colonels, but 12 points in this second half. McKenna Turo is now 0 of 2 after the miss to the right, and a rebound brought down by Oldham County. There you go. That's Maddie Lassell. Knocks in the 3. 5'7" 7th grader. 81-49.
Might even be stretching that a little bit. She's a little thing out there.
5 foot on a couple of phone books. And Oldham good for the Colonels to get 2 more. With J.C. Bryant for the bucket. And that's going to wrap things up. 81-51. South Oldham. For the Dragons, behind by 7 after 1, tied at half, but they outscored Oldham by 30 in quarters 3 and 4. It's 81-51. Up next, we'll have our most outstanding players presented by State Farm Insurance agent Leslie Gilly, and we'll also chat with Rebecca Zockline of Oldham County Solid Waste. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to Buckner in between games. South Oldham girls victorious over Oldham County, 81-51. Dragons now 7-6. Oldham County 6-6. Gary, quickly, the biggest difference in the game was what?
It was when South Oldham decided midway through the first quarter to go to the press, and the press changed everything. Even though Oldham continued to make a few threes, what it did was it got them the tempo that they wanted. And from a tie at halftime, we saw it really balloon out the second half.
Take a look at your most outstanding players tonight, presented by State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Leslie, a proud community partner here on Glycod. If you'd like a quote on home, auto, or life insurance, please contact her at 502-384-6184. South Oldham, you can't go wrong with Madison Young.
Well, everything starts with her, goes through her, ends with her. And even though she was slow in the start, she does so many other intangible things besides score points.
Yeah, plus 20 at least points. But
that didn't hurt.
No, 8-10 steals. We didn't have the exact stat, but just so many turnovers. And for Oldham, I think balanced scoring. But Aubrey Batts did some good things.
I think so. You know, as one of the older players on the team, we talked about the first half, how they were able to keep their composure, and Batts had a lot to do with that. Not just scoring, but settling them down when they got in situations where things got a little shaky. Unfortunately, the second half, the floodgates kind of opened.
Going to take a timeout. We'll be joined by Rebecca Zockline. She'll talk about this great product called Waste Wizard. Be right back after this on Glycod.
Not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
Definitely. Best competition. Check it. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, come on!
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Till they had an interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy and Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Back live at Oldham County High School in between games as South Oldham victorious in the girls' action over Oldham 81-51. Let's bring in our good friend Rebecca Zockline of Oldham County Solid Waste Recycling Coordinator. Rebecca, let's talk about this great product, the Waste Wizard.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. It's great being here. I am a Colonels fan, so a little sad to see that loss, but hope the boys do better. The Waste Wizard, it won't buy you a basket, but it can get you. It can tell you exactly how to get rid of just about anything. We've got. At our recycling center, we collect all electronics except for those tube and projection style TVs. And still through the end of this month, you can still drop off your fresh cut Christmas tree. So that's a thing. We accept or flattened cardboard, all kinds of paper. We even provide paper shredding service for personal documents. And that's by our staff only. We accept all kinds of metals. Anything that's metal, if it's metal, bring it. We'll take it.
What do you find in terms of people having challenges getting rid of some of these larger technology pieces?
Well, I'd say I think that we offer them an excellent opportunity to get rid of technology and keep that out of the landfill. But the biggest item that I get questioned about is paint. How to get rid of paint. Now, most people have what's called latex paint or water-based paint, and that is pretty easy to get rid of. We won't take it at the recycling center, but if you use kitty litter to dry out the paint, once it's dry, you can put it in your regular trash cart. Just make sure it goes in a bag. So my recommendation is to invest in some clumping kitty litter, pour the paint into the kitty litter, scoop it, and repeat. And there you've gotten rid of most of your paint. Now, any oil-based paint has to go to our household hazardous waste collection event. That's the number one item that I hear about.
What is the best way for someone to get in contact with you that might have questions about something?
Well, there's an inquiry message system on that Oldham County Fiscal Court website. They could also call me at 502-565-1007. Happy to answer questions. But the Waste Wizard is there 24/7. I'm not.
So this isn't your cell number?
No, it's not my
Okay.
cell number. No.
Rebecca, thank you so much for all the support. And what a great crowd
Yeah.
on a Friday night for Oldham County. It has to make you proud just to watch this wonderful community watch this game tonight.
Absolutely. I'm so proud to live in this county and to have a granddaughter who is on this basketball team. I'm pretty happy about it.
Thanks for all your support. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Rebecca Zockline. So glad to have her here tonight. We will step aside. Coach Chris Renner, Oldham County boys. He will join us next. Be right back.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics, and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
I'm here with Coach Chris Renner. Coach, 2 games in a row. You've taken that step forward.
played really well against a really good team from Madison the other night.
Yeah, we're finally getting guys healthy. We've probably had 10 or 12 practices so far this year with all of our players. So getting Henry Markham back and Nolan Leche back healthy has really helped us with their experience. We also had 3 of our last 4 losses. We were either tied at the end of 3 quarters or up in the 4th quarter. So we're playing much better basketball. Don't know if we're ready for this team tonight, but we'll see.
Coach, things you'll have to do to be successful against South Oldham.
Well, Coach Simpson does a great job coaching, and his kids play really hard. His kids can shoot the lights out of the basketball. So, we just can't take breaks. The biggest thing is whatever defense we're playing, we have to stay engaged in that possession. And the big thing is, even like the game I'm watching here, they're gonna hit some threes. But what you can't do is let them hit a bunch of threes, get layups, get offensive rebounds, and put them to free throw line. You got to take things away, and hopefully we can do that tonight. And then we got to score at the other end.
Everybody, it seems to be healthy for maybe the first time this year.
Well, I say that, but Tim Rankin, senior, hurt his ankle the last game, so he's going to be out tonight, which kind of hurts our depth. Another player that's a senior, strong, athletic, could really help us rebound in this game. So we're going to have next man up, and we'll just see what we can do.
Well, you heard it, and if you're not here, listen to us tonight on Glycod.com, where it's Oldham County and South Oldham, round 1 of the Battle of Oldham County. I'm here with Coach Chris Renner and Glycod.com. Coach, thank you.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
From Glycod, it's Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gelly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center, Mortensen Family Dental, Operation Parent, and Financial Solutions Incorporated. Now courtside for all the action of Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
A wonderful crowd as we welcome you back live to.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
From Glycod, it's Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gelly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center, Mortensen Family Dental, Operation Parent, and Financial Solutions Incorporated. Now courtside for all the action of Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back. A fantastic atmosphere tonight. It's South Oldham and Oldham County live tonight on Glycod. Gary, quick look at both these teams. First for the Colonels, again 4-10. And it's been a bit 2021 since they've been at the Sweet 16. They are the top free throw shooting team in Kentucky at 82%.
Well, you've got to find good things to point to, and that's a good start.
And you look at South Oldham, they're number one in the Commonwealth in made threes, 197. And this is a team, they are prolific from outside.
Well, they live, breathe, and die by the three-pointer. When they shoot them, they expect to make them.
So the Colonels being introduced. South Oldham 13-3, Oldham County 4-10. You heard from both coaches, Steve Simpson and Chris Renner. Chris is in the Hall of Fame, and perhaps the only thing keeping Steve out is a deep, prolonged run in this year's Sweet 16. Just two fantastic ambassadors for high school basketball. Tonight's officials, Greg Bukey, Cliff Florence, and Jason Beckham. Here we go. Colonels and Dragons. South Oldham girls victorious earlier by 30. And this one has all the makings of an evenly contested game. And the Dragons start with possession. On-ball defense by Nolan Lecce for OC.
And South Oldham starting off man-to-man.
Long three off for Julian Miles, and Oldham reels in the loose ball.
So Miles really feeling his oats that far out.
Well, he makes a lot of those threes. It's deflected out. Starters for South: Miles, Fithian, Burnside, B, and Xander Searcy for Oldham. Going to be Will Hinkle. You heard that Tim Rankin is out tonight with an injury, so the Colonels go down. Nolan Lecce will start. Henry Markham out there as well.
Well, the guy's been playing well for him lately is Harmon.
Strong drive, well done. Will Hinkle for the Colonels.
Oldham County straight man-to-man. Hinkle's got his hands full. He's got to guard Miles.
Yeah, Miles, all that strength, and he's headed back to the foul line.
Well, you can't let Miles get a head and shoulder by you. You know, he plays football. He's a very good football player as well. And he's physically strong from the waist up.
And Miles in for South Oldham free throw. Julian averaging 22 points per game. He's also a top free throw marksman for South at 85%. And
Well,
a 2-2 beginning.
South will mix it up. They'll start man against Oldham, but you'll also see some zone. And they'll do some half-court trapping just to give you a change of pace defensively.
There's the 8th grader, 6'2", Ty Bryant. Remember that name throughout his Colonel's career, averaging 11 points a night already. Hinkle drives under suffocating defense and a South Oldham foul.
Remember this, Chris. A fast pace will probably favor South. A little more deliberate may favor Oldham.
Yeah, South averaging 75 a game. Oldham high 50s. Jeremy Harmon wheels it around to Nolan Lecce, and Lecce floater in the lane, a little short. And South Oldham's Brooks B occupies the rebound. There's Xander Searcy. He's the orchestrator of this offense. Doesn't provide a lot of points. Miles, a deep three, and it stays in.
Deeper again for Miles.
Miles with all 5 for South. Jeremy Harmon, Jerome's son. Henry Markham, 23. Great to have Markham back. A strong drive, and the bucket goes. Markham missed 5 games, first 5 with an injury. Since he's led him in points and rebounds at 11 and 10. 5-4, and not expecting that pass was Fithian. And it's going to ricochet all the way down at the other end, and here comes South Oldham back this way. Fithian for three. And Miles vacuuming in the rebound. Searcy, scoop shot, creeps to the right off. And Oldham looking for the lead. They trail 5-4. 2.5 minutes have elapsed. There's Markham. Great cut by Hinkle. Hinkle with 4. 6'5" Oldham.
Excellent job by Oldham spreading the floor.
That one's off. Whistle underneath, and it looks like a foul underneath. Going to be on South Oldham. To the Colonels inbound. And Lecce again without Tim Rankin. Lecce, a lot of responsibility thrust on him in the backcourt.
2-3 by South Oldham. Going to trap with the two top men to force an up-tempo for the Colonels.
There is Markham. Lofted to Bryant. Ty Bryant. As the Colonels in the half-court setting, and that ball's thrown away out of bounds. So an unforced turnover and possession over to South Oldham. Searcy nudges it to William Burnside. There's an open three, and that's going to slide off. Miles boxed out by Hinkle. Miles got the rebound anyway. There's 0, Jake Fithian. Blowing by Bryant. And Bryant causes the miscue.
Bryant did a really good job of keeping his feet on the ground. And Fithian kind of got caught in between and stretched and drug that pivot foot.
Pretty solid start for Chris Renner's crew.
Yeah, you know, they leveled down. They're the first to level down. As we say that, then they turn it over.
Got a foul on Oldham. Despite the 4-10 mark for OC, they have won 2 in a row.
Well, and their last win was probably their most impressive win of the season when they went down to Madison Southern and got a win on the road. Madison Southern, one of the better teams in the Lexington area.
Winning that game in Berea. They also won on the road Wednesday at Grant County. There's Burnside. Back around the clock. Xander Searcy.
South will spread you out. They'll either shoot threes or they'll drive it.
Miles perhaps settling and connecting. Miles with all 8 for the Dragons. He's made 2 threes. Here's Markham facing on the Ginger, and Markham off long. Poked around underneath. And Searcy tight roping the baseline for possession. Trailer Fithian squares and knocks it in. And an Oldham 30-second timeout. 11-6 South Oldham. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball. Be right back.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Wonderful community representation for both programs tonight in Buckner. South Oldham and Oldham County Dragons lead 11-6.
Well, Chris, this is the way South Oldham plays offensively. You know, they do it, and they do it in streaks, and it's usually fed by those three-pointers.
Of which they've made 3 already, and deflected away by Xander Searcy. Trickles ahead to Miles, uncorks one.
Well, when you say Oldham County, I think it kind of makes the hair stand up on the back of Miles' neck.
Tremendous athlete, football and basketball. And
well, he's a great defender as well. That's the thing that people don't realize.
There's Harmon trying to respond. It's long and running down Julian Miles. They're going to count that basket. No. Oh, my. Miles begging for one, but it will be called on the floor.
Well, and the great thing about it, the official, a long-time 8th Region official, I thought he was out of the business. He's come back to work this big game. He sold the call immediately, pointing it was on the ground.
Colonels pick up their third foul of this quarter. That's off the mark. South gets the rebound, though. Burnside uncorks one. 5 South threes. That's 202 on the year. Tops in Kentucky. And we have a foul underneath. So a very pivotal stretch for the Colonels. Already down 11 to South.
You know, you've got to weather these storms if you're Oldham County.
That one's going to rattle out from Fithian, and the rebound snuck away by Nolan Lecce for the Colonels. Lecce drives, and I believe Fithian might have got a hand on that ball.
Very much so.
Miles runs for two. Gonna have another Colonel timeout.
Well, you got to weather those storms.
Gonna keep things right here as the lead now blossoming for South Oldham, 19-6. Gary Julian Miles has had a fantastic start to this game.
Well, very much so, and you know, you can say one thing about him. There's times maybe he gets a little overly aggressive, but, you know, he will always give you 100%. That's just the nature.
And to his credit, wonderful football season. And a lot of times when football guys come into basketball, it takes them a bit. He wasted no time.
Well, his goes hands in hand. The position he played in football as well as the position in basketball, you know, it works out pretty well. And he's the type of kid when the coach says, why don't you take a week off before you come in? It's like, no, I got to be there tomorrow.
And the Colonels already burning through 2 timeouts.
Well, you have to, once again, weather the storm if you're OC.
Boy, they need that one, and it's going to go down for Will Hinkle.
But you want to be really careful and don't try to do as South does. That's not OC's makeup.
Burnside trying to respond, and the rebound brought down by Henry Markham. Harmon flips one up long. And Burnside there to gather the South Oldham rebound. That one's going to shield off by a driving Fithian, and the Colonels down 10 in the balance of this first quarter. Markham as it swirl out, and South bringing down the rebound by Brooks B. 35 seconds in this opening quarter. One of the clocks is not working. The one you're seeing at home, that clock is not working. The near side clock shows 19 seconds, and Brooks B buries a 3. Now the clock is rectified, and it's a 23-9 South Oldham lead. Markham. And a heave, and that's going to wrap up the first quarter. South Oldham, a commanding 23-9 lead. We'll step aside, more coverage in just a moment. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
Dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service. It's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Dragons connecting on 6 first-quarter threes, Gary, and a really solid beginning for them.
Well, 6 out of 8, you know, we used to say if you were going to beat them, you had to hold them under 10 made. And, you know, already they've shot it really well. Having a little problem with the scoreboards. They're trying to get it to reset.
Yeah, the scoreboard nearest us is working, but I think more importantly for the folks at home, the one you're seeing is not. So that's something to hopefully get cleaned up.
Well, they've got them reset, so hopefully that'll work. But, you know, the bottom line is I'm not so sure South shot it that well that they caused the scoreboards to melt down, but they shot it awfully well.
22-9 with the 22-9 is the score on the game site. We're going to take one off to match the game site, 22-9. Well, what's important here for the Colonels try to get back in this thing?
Well, you heard me say it a bunch already. Weather the storm. You know, don't feel like you have to match them for each three they shoot or make, because that's not how Oldham is built. You know, Markham's got to get the ball inside some, you know, and use his size against it.
Ty Bryant has some length as well.
Well, I'm concerned about Bryant because of his physical strength, you know, just being a youngster.
Brooks Keitlinger has that shot rattle off. Brooks fresh in the game, 6'2 junior and an outstanding football player. So the Dragons lead by 13, north of 7 minutes, if you will, in this first half. There's Julian Miles already with 11 points in this game. Floats it in the corner. There's a 3 off from Brooks B. B now 1 of 2 from distance. As Bryant veering right. Little pull up. Got that one to go. Bryant, an 11-point per game score as an 8th grader. There's Burnside from Miles. Burnside has it rejected out of there by Henry Markham. And Markham spun left and then leaked it forward. Here comes Jake Fithian for South. And Hinkle, and you mentioned this earlier, a very difficult defensive assignment as Miles blows by him.
Well, you choose your poisons. If you crowd him too much, he goes by you. If you lay off of him, he's going to shoot the 3.
Julian Miles with 13. He averages 22 on the year. South Oldham matching their longest lead in this game thus far. Markham from Keitlinger, and Henry Markham will straddle the free throw line.
Well, there's where Markham can be the most effective, because I'm not sure South has a person that can do a good job on him in the mid-post or the post area. But Markham sometimes falls in love with the perimeter shot. And if I'm South, I'm probably wanting to shoot that perimeter shot.
Going to have an inbound to Nolan Lecce that just raced in. Back over to Markham. That's going to swirl off. Keitlinger tacks it in.
Nice follow by Keitlinger.
So Keitlinger, a field goal off the bench. Xander Searcy has that shot rattle off long.
See, here's one of those lulls that South will give you if you're patient.
That's going to be off the mark, but the follow goes for Henry Markham.
See, once again, there's where Markham really shows his value, because I don't think they have anybody that can equal him inside.
Take a quick 15-second timeout. Be right back. Tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
24-15 South Oldham as the Colonels have outscored the Dragons 6-2 in this second quarter.
Okay, Oldham in a diamond press now, trying to trap out front. Got to be careful. This will leave lots of wide open shots. And Miles buries the three as we speak.
Drew Campbell found Julian Miles. Miles his fourth made three. So the lead back up to double figures. Bryant angling in, floats it in the corner. There's Harmon that applies the break. Ty Bryant lands a three. So Bryant with 5. And the Colonels answer a South 3.
Oldham 2-2-1 on the half court.
Miles feeling it as that one rattles off for his second three-point miss.
You got to find and locate shooters, and it starts with Miles and Fithian. But, 4 of the 5 starters for South shoot the three well.
And the rebound trickles over to Bryant. I think if Chris Renner's bunch could be within perhaps single digits at half, they'd have to feel pretty good.
Very much so.
A South Oldham foul. Drew Campbell committing the foul. Interesting news this week between these two schools. Oldham County new head football coach Jamie Ree. That name might ring a bell over in Crestwood. Tremendous hire. Long three. That one's going to go for the 8th grader. Bryant with 8 and the Colonels within 6. Around the clock it goes. That's going to rattle off from Brooks B. and off the baseline, touch last by Nolan Lecce. South ball.
Well, Chris, it's what we talked about earlier. You have those ebbs and tides by South. They'll make a few threes in a row, and then they'll go a period of time. You just have to weather it, and don't drink the juice if you're Oldham and decide you want to try to match them.
And a wonderfully executed inbounds play for the basket. That was Adrian Miles with that field goal, Julian's kid brother.
Adrian, not the scorer that Julian is, but a very, very good defensive player.
Defense now applying some pressure on Ty Bryant. So many things to like about his game.
Well, yeah, and particularly what grade he's in.
Yeah, really. Lecce finding Jeremy Harmon. He'll funnel it in the corner. That's Matt Withrow, also an 8th grader that's checked in. And a turnover by Oldham. Here's Brooks B. Drew Campbell flings one in.
Well, turnover leads directly to a 3. You pay the price.
South has made 8 threes unofficially. There's a corner response that's going to go down for Harmon. Jeremy's 12th 3 of the year. That leaves Oldham in a 32-24 lead. Campbell again. Sure. They're fun to watch, Coach.
Well, if you let them shoot where they want to shoot, they are.
South by 11. And Oldham has done some good things in this game.
They have, but, the tempo maybe is a little too fast for Oldham.
There's Lecce being bothered a tad. Now Lecce around the clock. Bryant catches and shoots. Tapped around Markham, securing the rebound and out of bounds. South Oldham. Thanks to our great crew tonight. Mike Sumner on camera, Jeff Cooper, our on-site producer. Steve Bird, our executive producer, and a great crowd on hand. Thank you so much for watching us tonight on Glycott. South by 11, trying to win 9 in a row. Burnside up and in. Burnside with 5. Now Will Hinkle finding Bryant. Hinkle will fling one up and in. He's playing great tonight.
Well, Hinkle's another one of those ones that's very sporadic. You know, when he gets hot on those threes, he's awfully good, and then he disappears.
Hinkle with 10. He's leading Oldham tonight in scoring. Burnside uncorks a wild-looking three that's off. Rebound snookered out of there by Markham.
Good to see Markham go to the boards.
And an and one. Count the basket. Nolan Lecce. Xander Searcy with his first foul as Nolan Lecce, his first field goal and a timely Colonel basket. And three-point play. Free throw in. Back to 7. Campbell, he's already made 2 from that locale. It's going to pinball around, and Searcy gets it back. There's Miles. Yep. Julian. Simmering, smoldering tonight. Under a minute now as the Dragons up 10. Miles initiates contact, missed that one, and back an aggressive rebound by Lecce. Jace Bryant has it in. With 33 seconds, and Steve Simpson calling timeout, perhaps to draw up one final play in this first half. Lecce leading the break, and there's Bryant. To Bryant now, Gary with 11. And Oldham has made 5 threes of their own.
Well, there's sometimes an old adage that sometimes a team that shoots a lot of threes doesn't mind defending a lot of threes on the other team. And it's almost like, go ahead and shoot, we'll match you. But I'd be really careful wanting to get into that with South Oldham, particularly out of the corners. Chris, if you'll notice, their first look every time is a corner shot.
Yeah, you've had Drew Campbell make 2 really from the same spot beneath us. He's attempted 2 more. Brooks B knocked one in from the corner. And South finding Miles. He's left-handed, goes to his left. Long rebound brought down by Will Hinkle of Oldham. Down 7. They've been in worse position. Lecce driving, fumbling, and held ball. The arrow in favor of South. It's 7 seconds in this first half as Julian Miles comes to a jump stop. Up and in, +1. So Julian Miles blowing by the defender. Where was the help side defense?
Well, their offense is predicated if they just spread the floor. If you help, they kick to the person who helped, and that's where the threes get shot from the corner.
10-point lead. Julian Miles, an outstanding first half for South Oldham as the lead now at 10. Thanks so much for watching us tonight on Glycott. Please subscribe to our growing platform. A privilege to be here tonight. South by 10 at half. More coverage right after this timeout. We'll be right back.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit OperationParent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Find out how to recycle or dispose of any item with Waste Wizard at oldhamcountyky.gov under Solid Waste Management.
Just a great atmosphere tonight as we welcome you back to a nearly capacity crowd at Oldham County High School. It's halftime, and the South Boys on top of Oldham 43-33. This is an interesting ball game, as there was actually a Hall of Fame announcement at halftime just a few moments ago for the 2025 class. We'll share some of those names in a little bit. And regarding this game, though, Gary, what was most captivating for you for both teams?
Well, I just think it was the way South came out right out of the bats. Everybody had heard how well they shot the three, and that if you were going to have success, you were going to have to defend it. And right off the bat, Miles pulled up from about 30 feet and drilled one and proceeded to make three more. And then the wealth was shared. Yeah, I have them down unofficially for 8 made threes. And, you know, they hit a lull, if you will, in the second quarter, but they still put 43 points on the board.
Well, I've got them for 10, so maybe we're both wrong. Maybe they have 9. For Oldham County, Gary, I mean, we mentioned this. They've done some good things. How do they slow the tempo down and get back in the game at the same time?
Well, you just can't come down and jack one up.
and particularly if it's a high percentage shot, you have to be really careful. Choose your poison. And South will do that with you the whole game. They'll say, fine, we'll come down and shoot a three, and we'll let you come down and shoot a three. But I don't think that's how Oldham is made up with this team.
You got to Julian Miles unofficially with about 17 points or so. William Burnside, 5. Drew Campbell has 6 for the Colonels. Ty Bryant unofficially 11. Will Hinkle with 10. Henry Markham with a half dozen. Markham's efficiency is so high. How does he get more involved, though, on offense?
Well, you get a little closer to the basket.
Okay.
And I don't think South has anyone on their team that wants to guard him on the block or chooses to do so. So he's kind of doing them a favor. If there's always been a niche since I watched him play, and yes, I'm big on percentages. A shot 2 feet from the basket is a lot easier than one from 17 feet.
That's more basketball coming up Tuesday. Gary will be on the call at Ballard. That'll be an interesting game with the return of Chris Renner for Oldham County going to Ballard on Tuesday.
Very much so. That's an old hat, if you will.
And then Friday, the doubleheader in Goshen with Oldham and North. We're at halftime. South Oldham on top, 43-33. Thanks so much for joining us. Second half coming up in just a moment.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Welcome back to a packed Oldham County High School. We'd like to announce the Oldham County High School Hall of Fame inductee class. There's at least four groups of folks that have been recognized. The 1988 girls golf team, also Wes Henderson. And our graphic only has room for two at a time. Anna Manning, great to see, outstanding track star, and my former next-door neighbor being recognized. And then Wayne and Linda Tice, two ambassadors, Gary, of Oldham County High School.
Very much can't say a bad thing about any of them, having lived here in the community now for almost 30 years. Their names always coming up in a positive sense of way.
So we'll see what happens here. Colonels basketball again. Oldham only 4-10 coming in, but playing much better. They've won 2 in a row. South Oldham is 13-3. Dragons run off 8 in a row. One of their losses, by the way, to an undefeated Marshall County team. So this resume action-packed for South. Colonel ball. Veering in is Hinkle. Will float away. Got his own. Gathers and scores. Hinkle now with a dozen. That's well north of his 8-point average. As the Colonels now down single figures. Burnside.
Too easy.
William Burnside with 7 unofficially. Back to 10. Teams exchange buckets in this third quarter. Jeremy Harmon. Backdoor cut. And Markham, I think, lost it on the way up. And South Oldham will bring it across. Fithian squaring. And how about Brooks B gathering that rebound?
Once again, South spreading the half court.
Burnside in the corner. Trying to back in the 8th grader. That's 5 years older. And South Oldham again attacking the backboard. And a 3 in for the Dragons. 48-35, 6:37 in this third, and a crafty take by Will Hinkle. He has been very assertive and productive tonight for Oldham. Back at the other end, South Oldham able to gather that rebound with a second chance 3-point field goal.
Well, you know, one of the things that is sort of a myth is that teams that shoot a lot of threes don't rebound well. And if you'll watch South, a lot of their offense is created off of missed 3 shots because, as the adage says, who knows better than the person who shot it if the ball's going in or not, and that person a lot of times follows up and gets it.
Hinkle carving in an outstanding night. Season high is 19, and he's got a puncher's chance to reach that this evening. The lead at 11 for South. Burnside, and a long rebound scooped away by Ty Bryant of Oldham. Outlet Harmon. Here's Will Hinkle beneath us. Markham flings one and in! Markham with 9, and every time South Oldham gets a little cushion, the Colonels remind them that they're still here. Here's Miles. Off the rim not once but twice, and a basket here brings it down to a 2-possession game. Nolan Lecce on for the Colonels. Again, Oldham without 6'4" senior, 7-point-per-game scorer Tim Rankin. He's out tonight with an injury, so Oldham down a man. As Ty Bryant withers his way in the lane, and a South Oldham foul.
Late call right here in front of us, but at the same time, I thought it was the correct call, just a little late.
So Bryant to the foul line for 2. He's got 11 points. Can you imagine him in an 8th grade game against Shelby East? Free throws off.
You never know. I don't think we'll see that.
Yeah, really. Bryant for 1 more. This Colonel team, they're unquestionably trending upwards. Lead at 7. Fithian inside the teeth of that defense. Crafty hook around pass. Miles knocks it in.
Well, you got to put a hand in the shooter's face. And there you had a 6'1" guard shooting in a 6'6" fella's face, and no hand in the shooter's face.
The lead at 9. Nolan Lecce on the handle for Oldham. Jeremy Harmon in the corner. Hinkle will catch and shoot. And Burnside bothered, but gathers the rebound anyway. There's Miles spinning, and the closeout blocked by Bryant. Dragons on the inbound. What's the defensive change, or has there been, against Julian Miles? There's a Brooks B3. Colonels with a rebound.
I'm not so sure it's anything they've done to him necessarily. It's that sometimes the ball goes to the other side.
There's a great cut. Hinkle to Jeremy Harmon. Harmon now with 5, and Hinkle's imprint has been all over this game for Oldham County.
Well, he's quietly done things. Nothing flashy.
There's Burnside with the up and under move. He gathered his own rebound, though. It's going to pinball around and scooped away by Henry Markham. Lecce inside the arc. Oh, my.
Not a good shot.
And possession back South Oldham. That would have been a big basket to bring it beneath 6. Drew Campbell's back in for South Oldham. He made 2 threes in the first half.
And once again, Campbell, point guard out front. He'll set the table. If forced to, if he's open in the corner, he'll shoot it. He just shot one from the top of the key there.
Yeah, that's off the mark. That was Xander Searcy that couldn't connect. A rebound wrestled out of there by Will Hinkle for Oldham County. 3:20 in this third quarter. Hinkle through the teeth of the defense, got the bounce. So Oldham has cut the 10-point deficit in half. And there's Julian Miles with the answer.
It almost looks too easy sometimes for Miles.
There's Henry Markham in the corner. He reminds me a bit in terms of Madison Young for South Oldham earlier. Just his knack for the ball, always in the right spot. Hinkle couldn't connect. That steered long, and there's Julian Miles.
Well, he's aggressive by nature. You saw that in his football play.
And Jace Bryant with a rebound, the lead at 7. Bryant, a deep one. And there's a rebound plucked out of there by 50, Julian Miles. With 2:14 in this third quarter. South has led throughout, but the Colonels have been right within about the 6 to 10 point differential tonight. Miles inside the lane, lofts it short. And Oldham's been dry on their last 2 possessions. They could use a basket here. Here's Lecce over to Hinkle. Lecce pausing at the elbow. There's Jace Bryant. Now Harmon. How about Burnside jetting in the passing lane? And there goes the Ginger. William Burnside with 9, and that's the size of the South lead. Markham from 16, and he's fouled on the closeout by Drew Campbell. Gary, I might be mistaken. I'm not sure we've seen South Oldham's Colton Wuchterl tonight. Number 11 leads them at 8 points a game.
We have not.
8-point per game score, one of their top 3-point shooters. Markham for 2. Brooks Keitlinger back in for Oldham. Keitlinger will don number 1, had a field goal in the first half. And that was dancing in for Markham. Back to 7. Nice take by Julian, and an even better defensive play, or was it? No, foul on Markham. So Julian Miles to the foul line.
Well, it seems like Miles can get his anytime he wants, Chris. You know, he just plays. Really, tonight I've seen him be more under control. There's times he's so aggressive, but he's really been under control tonight. And in a big rivalry game, that kind of surprises me. I figured he would really be amped up.
Yeah, we saw him against Butler, and he was very, very good, but at times maybe played a step and a half too fast. But you're right, he slowed things down a bit, and he's been much more proficient. There's Harmon in the corner.
South changing defenses now.
And Miles deflected that pass.
Well, unfortunately, I felt like the Oldham players sort of stopped when he met contact, and the ball was easily intercepted by South.
As Adrian Miles, going to hear about that from the Oldham contingent.
Well, they better be careful what they wish for. You know, you don't want to poke that bear with a stick too much.
Well, I think they were talking about Adrian, not Julian.
Well, Julian might take it personal as well.
It's deflected out by Drew Campbell of South Oldham.
South switched to a 1-3-1, and they put Julian Miles on the point. That's a great spot for him. He's a great anticipator, and he'll bait you in the passes. He's very knowledgeable.
Keitlinger able to withstand the pressure. It's going to belong back to the Colonels. If you just joined us, this game was a 10-point South Oldham lead at half. Oldham County got it to within 5 in this quarter. There's Jeremy Harmon inside the defense.
Haven't seen or heard much from Harmon lately.
Harmon now with 7. Again, the size of the lead. Xander Searcy will handle it, and that was a wise decision. South will now preserve the final 10 seconds of this quarter.
See, Chris, I think this tempo is in favor of Oldham. They've got South to kind of get out of sync a little bit.
There's Miles, a step back 3, and that's going to wrap up the third. 7-point South Oldham lead, seeking their 9th straight win. 56-49 they lead. We'll step aside, more coverage right after this timeout on Glycod.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
7 points, South Oldham lead as we welcome you back to Buckner. Chris Labar alongside former Oldham County boys head basketball coach Gary Forrest. Been a real treat to bring you the first of the 3 of these Friday nights. Next Friday, Glycod will have a crew at North Oldham as these Colonels will travel to take on the North Oldham Mustangs. So South ball by 7. You talk, Coach, about the slowness of the tempo. How does South maybe pick it up a pace?
Well, you can do that primarily by what he's done. He's moved Miles to the point, so he's got an aggressive defender on the point, and he can do some traps out of his zone. You know, but if I'm Oldham, I feel pretty good. I've got myself back in a position.
That was a great pass by Burnside underneath. Colonels dodged a bullet on that miss. And South Oldham able to get it back again. Miles is free for that 3. And there's Markham. Colonels with a rebound. Hinkle steers it in the corner, freeing up Harmon for a big one. Jeremy now with 10. And the Colonels haven't been this close since the meat of the first quarter. Drew Campbell for a 3. It swirls out. South with a rebound. And I think a Dragons foul as well.
Well, once again, Chris, we talked about it's about the pace of the game. And the pace right now is more suited for Oldham. But it's like anything. If you make threes, all of a sudden, you can have the pace you want.
Going to be South ball. We're all the way at the other end of this court, shielded, and it's Dragon ball. So South by 4 after the Oldham timeout. That ball's off by Miles. The second chance won't go either. And a Colonel's foul will be their second quick foul in this quarter. Third on Jeremy Harmon, so Julian Miles, not the place you want to put him if you're Oldham. Again, he shoots him 85%. He has been so good for so long at South Oldham. Over 1,100 career points. A dynamic football player. NAIA and Division III offers. And Miles able to drain that. Back to 6 with 7 left. And Lecce, the focal point of the offense, at least in terms of setting things up for Oldham.
Oldham trying to buy some time for Bryant. You know, he's young, little thin.
And a South Oldham foul. It's on Adrian Miles. Oh, it's a Searcy, excuse me. Foul on Xander Searcy.
Well, and just as we spoke, Bryant able to buy a couple of minutes. You know, he's still young, rangy, and they need him in the game.
It's 6:38 to play. Colonels down 6. Harmon veering left. That foul occurring on the floor.
I'll tell you what really concerns me a little bit, Chris. The last 4 times down is the hardest I've seen Markham work on the block, trying to shape up and get the ball. His teammates, they've got to see that, because what will happen is if you keep working hard to get the ball and don't get it, eventually human nature means you'll quit working hard.
There is Bryant, Jace Bryant, in the middle of the floor. Yeah, Burnside is trying to shadow Markham. And Lecce with a pause in play as Hinkle operating in front of his classmates. There's Lecce, would not go in, and Burnside with a rebound.
Not a good choice, I don't think.
Yeah, Lecce thus far not really known for his offense.
No.
With 5:50 in this fourth quarter. Jake Fithian around the clock. Brooks B, a corner 3, and that's a big one.
They love the corner threes.
B now with 6. Colonels respond at the other end. And Will Hinkle for 2 more. Nearing the 5-minute mark. Now Fithian, left-hand power dribble. Burnside. And Markham's defense makes him think of passing it out top. There's Markham through the double team for 2.
Well, just too easy.
That's a great timeout by the Hall of Famer. So Chris Renner pauses play for 60 seconds. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Back live at Oldham County High School in Buckner. Chris LeBar, Gary Forks, thanks so much for joining us tonight. The lead at 9 for South. Oldham, 2 timeouts remaining, and really now the meat of the stretch. Very important sequence for them coming up.
We're in that 2-minute period right now where Oldham's got to hang in there, and if anything, let it be known to themselves that we got a shot at this thing and make South think about that. But what you can't do is, if things go wrong, take 1 or 2 plays off. That'll make the difference.
Both teams with 2 fouls.
So we run a set play. 1-3-1. South with a change of defenses right now.
Got Julian Miles at the teeth of that defense.
Miles will play the interceptor spot. He'll look to make a steal and a side-to-side pass.
Hinkle finds Harmon. Got it! Hinkle with the assist, and Jeremy Harmon having a great second half with 11 of his 13 points.
Oldham in a passive 2-3 at the other end of the floor.
Now Jake Fithian will steer it to Julian Miles. Burnside uncorks one. And there's Markham with a big rebound. Here comes Harmon trying to squeeze his way in the lane. It's little on little against Searcy. Hinkle. There's Harmon. And dug around, and there's Harmon. Back in the corner to Bryant for a 3. And the Colonels with 2 missed opportunities as Julian Miles. And a big turn of events. There's Markham around to Lecce, the lead at 9. Lecce pausing. Now Hinkle accelerates to the basket for 2. Hinkle with 20 unofficially. That would be a season high. And South Oldham protecting a 7-point lead. Led by 13 after, won by 10 at half. And that's Markham nudging it over to Nolan Lecce as we tiptoe under 3 minutes in this fourth quarter. Markham, a raindropper that's long.
Too easy. Get that shot anytime.
Julian Miles going to float it around as South Oldham has William Burnside trapped on the far baseline. And a Dragons timeout, 66-59. South Oldham on top of Oldham County. You're watching Oldham County High School's basketball. Now a message from Anderson Sales and Service.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville. You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
66-59, South Oldham on top of the Colonels. With 2:30 in this fourth quarter will be South Oldham ball out of the timeout. What's the instruction in the Dragons huddle, Coach?
Well, you want to make sure that the shot you get is the shot that you want. Don't be baited into taking a quick shot. Now, South likes to shoot the 3, and they determine what is a good 3 for each individual player. The guy I like, who I think gets a lot done, and sometimes it goes kind of unnoticed, is Burnside. He'll score for you inside or outside, and he doesn't usually take reckless shots.
Brooks B angling it in. There's Miles cutting. Miles rejected out of there by Markham. 7-point difference with 2:20 to play. There's Jeremy Harmon Angling left. Trickles off his knee out of bounds.
Well, there's a case where have an idea. Harmon had the ball, but I'm not really sure he was sure what he wanted to do with it. And Miles was smart. He baited him and knocked it off his leg.
There's Brooksby in the corner. A long three. That one out, and a foul over the top as Jace Bryant was boxed out.
Well, there's our man Burnside. Does all the little things. Ball shot from the corner. He gets to where if the ball's coming off 80% of the time, it's off the weak side, and he gets fouled.
Just over 2 minutes. And Miles able to catch the ricochet. Seven-point Dragons lead. South is led throughout. Brooksby off, and there's your boy Burnside again. Up and in, +1.
Well, I just think he's the forgotten soldier in a lot of people's eyes. And, when the game's over, he's usually a double-double guy. He's smart. He plays angles. He gets weak side rebounds. Everybody needs one of those. And if you had a couple, they'd be even better.
So Burnside trying to nudge this back to a 10-point South Oldham lead. This is a very complete team, are the Dragons, against a rapidly improving Oldham County team. 1:41 left.
Whoa.
Hinkle trying to squeeze in. Jeremy Harmon, crafty pass, Lecce. That's a great find, and Keitlinger knocks it down. So Keitlinger with 4. 1:18 to play. There's Burnside. Oh my, okay. Charge will be called. So that's going to give the ball back to Oldham with 1:14 still to play. And here comes Jeremy Harmon. Lecce backing in. Yeah, it's a good calls. Harmon trying to free some space. So under a minute now, what is a 69-61 South Oldham lead. Drew Campbell with it as he'll sneak through that double team. 38 seconds left. And finally a foul called. Oldham County over the limit. So South will shoot him for the rest of this game. Take a look at South Oldham's upcoming schedule. Both these teams, it's going to be a short night. They both play tomorrow. South at Henry. And then a home game Tuesday versus a solid Spencer County team, followed by Grant. And, of course, the highlight on the 31st, North Oldham. And Oldham County's got a noon game here against Bellevue. And Tuesday we'll have them at Ballard. Thursday as well, Friday as well, at North Oldham. So busy week upcoming for both Oldham and South. So Drew Campbell for 2 free throws. And again, coming up at the conclusion of this game, Gary and I will have the State Farm Insurance agent Leslie Gilly, most outstanding player. 1 student athlete from each team. And it might be a Miles Hinkle exacta. We're going to have a timeout after the South Oldham conversion. Be right back after this. Thanks so much for watching us tonight on Glycod. Final 34 seconds in just a second.
When
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Back to Buckner, 34 seconds remain. Some of the crowd getting an early trek home. It's just been a tremendous community outpouring of support for these two high schools. And Gary, going to be the same for the next pair of Fridays as well.
It is. If you don't have anything scheduled on your next couple of Fridays, take in one of these Oldham basketball games as they play the neighborhood rivals.
That's a great overplay by Brooksby, but deflected right to Lecce, and he'll knock it in and draw a foul. This is a Colonel's team. You know, again, they're 4-10, and they're going to have to win a game in the district to get out of the district, but they're getting better and better, and I think their best basketball might be ahead.
Oh, I think so. The problem is North Oldham is young, and they're getting better and better. And South right now is the wily old veterans, and they're better to start with.
Yeah, that's probably the distinguishing factor amongst all three teams would be the experience that South has. But that's come at a cost because the Dragons haven't been able to get out of the district the last couple of years. As Burnside going to trek down and shoot 2 free throws. Remembering you and your coaching days, Gary, I know you would love to coach a kid like William Burnside, just the way he plays and what he does.
Well, you know, kids like that are fun because I don't know him personally, but it just seems like he plays very heady, you know, and he's got an even keel about him. It's fun to watch.
Foul at the other end as Jace Bryant bank it in. And Bryant with 13, now 15 points unofficially for 6th to 8th grader. And there's Burnside for the rebound. He's going to pad his totals.
Well, once again, you know, when it's over and done, you can write it down. He's a double-double guy. And he plays the other team's better interior player, and those are just good things.
And there's not a lot of depth behind him at that position as well.
No, but, you know, maybe that gives him a little bit of freedom to play that way.
Sure could. So Burnside will have one more as the Dragons on the verge of their 9th straight win and a 14-3 start to this year. There's Lecce into forecourt over to Harmon. He's had a great second half and did not get the roll that time, though. And there's Burnside. And after about the third swipe, the whistle blows. So South Oldham, 2 more free throws. Again, the Lady Dragons' 30-point win over Oldham in the first game.
Yeah, looks like the big sweep for South tonight.
But I think for Oldham, both these teams did some very good things, especially the boys in the nightcap.
Oh, I think so.
So a lot of positives moving forward. Burnside off. And the lead at 9 is Jace Bryant going to take one from about half court. Why not? And that's going to wrap things up. Good for him. 74-68. Final score tonight, South Oldham winning over Oldham County. Been a great one. So glad you joined us tonight. We'll take a break, be back for our most outstanding players and a quick look ahead. Be right back after this.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy and Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Lines Direct, not just blinds. Lines Direct, not just blinds.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to Oldham County High School. It's been a great night. Two very interesting basketball games. Final in the boys' game, South 74, Oldham County 68. Tonight's most outstanding players are presented by Crestwood State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. For a quote on home, auto, or life insurance, contact Leslie at 502-384-6184. And tonight for our MOPs, certainly for South Oldham, you've got to go Julian Miles.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt in that, Chris.
Tell me a little more about what he did so well tonight, Gary. What impressed you the most?
Well, he set the tempo from the very beginning when he took the ball, cleared out, knocked down a three, and you said, okay, well, that's good. And then the next two possessions, he did the same thing. But then at the other end of the floor defensively, he also set the tempo. So, you know, he's their lightning rod, and when he starts off like that, I just think his teammates pick up on that very fast.
For Oldham County, this was a outstanding performance by Will Hinkle, and good for that young man because he brought it tonight in a big game.
Well, in the past, we've seen Hinkle play in spurts, but this is probably the fullest game I've seen him play from start to finish since he's been playing here.
So Will Hinkle and Julian Miles, tonight's most outstanding players, as the South Oldham puts away Oldham County 74-68. For the Colonels, Jeremy Harmon had a solid second half. Henry Markham did some good things, and then certainly Ty Bryant as well.
Very much so, as I was informed by, I can only assume with his grandfather sitting in front of me, his first name is Ty. I said, well.
I thought that's what we said.
I did too, but apparently grandfather heard something different. But
and for South Oldham, Julian Miles, William Burnside played well, but Drew Campbell made a couple of big threes, as did Brooks B. When Oldham County kind of got it a little more narrow, Brooks B made a big corner three as well.
Well, I think B and Campbell both are those guys that kind of settle South down a little bit and don't play as hectic, and that's kind of what they bring to the table as well. And I think Burnside is the same way. Doesn't force a lot of things, but they go about 8 or 9 deep. So you pick your poison with them.
More basketball ahead on Glycod, presented by D's Consulting. Tuesday night, Oldham County and Ballard. Chris Renners return to her lane. Then Friday, a week from tonight, doubleheader, Oldham County and North Oldham. Would love to have you join us for those games. Before we sign off, a huge thank you to Paul Holyen and the great folks at Oldham County High School for having us here tonight. It was a real treat to bring you this doubleheader, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That'll do it for us for 2 great games tonight at Oldham County High School, and all of our Glycod crew, including Gary Forrest, our analyst, Jeff Forrest, our producer, and Mike Forrest, our camera operator. I'm Chris Lamar. Good night from Buckner. You've been watching Oldham County High School basketball on Glycod.
From Glycod, this has been Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game was brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center. Mortensen Family Dental. Operation Parent, and Financial Solutions Incorporated.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from Glycod.